Troopers, and welcome back to another episode of TJB Collectables. A very special one we have for you today. As you can see, we have three sets. We have the Third Doctor and Sea Devil set, the Fourth Doctor and K9, and the Sixth Doctor from the very first wave of classic series figures, which included the K1 robot chest part. But in today's review, we're not going to be taking a look at them. We're going to be taking a very good, in-depth look at the Third Doctor and Sea Devil set. So let's get these other two out of the way, and let's take a look at the packaging. Now, as you can see, this packaging resembles the packaging at the time, which was the style guide of the Russell T Davies era, which was the Ninth Doctor and 10th Doctor. But as you can see, we have the gorgeous Doctor Who logo up the top, and we have the blue background surrounding it, and of course we have the two figures looking quite wonderfully in that window packaging. Down the bottom we have pictures of both the Third Doctor and Sea Devil from the respective episode, The Sea Devils, and of course we have the titles of each character as well, and the year the episode was in. On the back of the packaging, we have a very similar thing, again with the orange style guide, pictures of both the Doctor and the Sea Devil, with a write-up on the Doctor and the episode itself. And then, obviously, we have all the legal juggernaut down the bottom. Now, let's get rid of the packaging, and let's take a look at this amazing set. So here we are with both the Third Doctor and Sea Devil, and honestly, this is such a great set. I know that when I first got my first ever Third Doctor figure in the 11 Doctors box set, I was a bit disappointed because we didn't get this version of the Doctor, because this is my favourite version of John Pertwee in this gorgeous blue velvet jacket and the red and black cape. It just was amazing, and plus a Sea Devil figurine, which would have been amazing. So if we take a look at the Third Doctor himself, obviously we have some great detailing here. The face sculpt is just immaculate. It looks like John Pertwee. The paint apps really make it shine. The hair is amazing, like the different shading of grey and white. From all different angles, it really does look like him. Moving on down to the main costume part of things, we obviously have the white shirt and the black cravat replicated wonderfully here, and we have that gorgeous velvet blue jacket with the frills down the side of the cuffs and everything. It really does work, and you can see a bit of the red as well from the black cape. Moving on down a bit lower, we have the trousers. This is just plain black. This sculpt is actually the trousers one, unlike other Third Doctor figures where it's been boots. I'm aware that the Seeds of Death version, I believe, is boots, but this version is trousers with simple black shoes, really quite nice. On either hand, he has rings. We obviously have his traditional ring on his pinky. Fun fact about this Doctor, he was very modern. If some of you might remember in one of his first scenes where he's working out what clothes to wear, which ended up being these ones, you can see he has a tattoo. This Doctor was a bit rowdy, and I reckon that he would have gotten up to a fair bit of mischief on Gallifrey when he was younger. But now he's an old crabby man who lives in a box. So, yeah, moving on. Obviously, we now have a better look at the figure without the wonderful cape on. That blue velvet effect is really been replicated really well done here by the mix of blues and dark blacks. It really does make it look like velvet. This detail is carried out through onto the sleeves and also onto the main back part of the things. Also on the back of the figure, we also have some cuts where the jacket is fitted, which looks really nice. When looking at the articulation of the figure, we obviously have the head, which can do a full 360. It's a bit tight on mine because it's just out of the packaging, but that's alright. Arms can do full 360 all the way around. Biceps can do full 360 as well. Then we obviously have the elbow, which can do 90 degrees, and the wrist can do a full 360 as well, but then again, quite tight as well. Waist can do full 360, tight as well. T-crutch articulation, obviously 90, well, kind of 90 degrees. And then we have calf 360, knee can do 90, and that's pretty much it. Your standard Doctor Who articulation, which is great. When taking a closer look at the cape, as you can see, it has that gorgeous red lining, which many people believe, including myself, was then to influence the 12th Doctor's outfit. It's really well done. It looks like fabric, and it's really great. It's well made. And obviously the Doctor cannot be complete without his trusty sonic screwdriver. This is really well done with the yellow and black spiral effects within the centre and the red features as well. The sonic screwdriver can be put into his hand quite tightly and neatly, just with slotting it in very easily, as you can see right there. When taking a look at the Sea Devil, it honestly is amazing what character have been able to do to capture that real cheap latex look of the costume at the time. It really does work here. For anyone who's up to date on their Doctor Who figure trivia, this version is actually more accurate to the original Sea Warrior that was released all the way back in Wave 1 with the K1 Robot series. That one was much more of a lighter green, very bright in colour. To me, that always didn't sit right. However, it was the easiest to army build essentially. But this one character took another stab at the dark. It works far better. It is much darker, more grittier, more disgusting and dull, which is what the Sea Devils were in the story, and it really does work well. Having a closer look, obviously that head sculpt is immaculate. You can see the beak, the eyes, I don't know what you want, the ears, the flappers, I don't know. But it really does work well, and it does look terrifying, but it looks cheap and silly, which is really key to this style of villain during the time of the 70s, and it really does work well. It looks wonderful from all sides. You can even see a bit of the back there with the spine, what I would presume could be the zipper for the costume, but nonetheless, it looks really great. Moving down, obviously we have that gorgeous netting effect. I believe on the actual costumes they were much more bulkier, and there was a lot more, but obviously because this is an action figure, they can, they don't have the sources to use a lot of it, otherwise it might look quite dull and disgusting. But yeah, they've replicated that really well. It's real cloth, which I like. Cloth on some figures doesn't work well, but for this it really does. Also, we have the belt there with the ray gun, I think it's called. I'm not too sure, but that sits in that pouch quite well. Moving on down, we also have the wonderful legs. Wonderful legs, bloody hell, they are wonderful. With obviously the flippers and everything. And again, they've been able to capture that latex rubber, cheap look really, really well with that texturing of like the folds and creases. It really does work well. Obviously with the hands, again, that looks like a glove that was, very reminiscent of the time when they were making this. It looks cheap and nasty, but it does the job and it makes it really authentic. Obviously, one awesome feature is you can actually put the gun into the hand, which is really amazing, and it allows it to hold it and give it some great range of poses. When looking at the articulation, obviously the head can do a full 360, which is quite awesome, I think. Bit of an exorcist moment there. And then we have ball-jointed arms, full 360. I don't want to run the risk of ruining the fabric, so I haven't done them all the way. Then 90 degrees at the arm. Wrist can do full 360 as well. Then, of course, a T-crotch joint. T-crotch joints were coming in at the time when this was released. Then we have thigh articulation, all a bit tight. We have knee at 90 degrees, and ankles can also do full 360, but I don't want to push it. So, wonderful there. Now, not only do I have this Sea Devil, but I also have another one. Here we are. This one I actually picked up at a comic book shop. It was loose, being used, and I grabbed it, and it's great. It's the exact same stuff, and now I've got two Sea Devils. This one's actually quite interesting because over time the glossiness of the head is actually worn away, so it's really great to work out which one's which. I'm really great that I picked up that Sea Devil because now I have two. They are some of my favourite villains, and it's great to finally have two of my favourite Third Doctor villains with my favourite Third Doctor figure. So I'm really happy to have that. So there we have it, the review of the Third Doctor and Sea Devil set from all the way back in 2009 by Character Options. This was a great set to look at as this is my favourite version of the Third Doctor and one of my favourite Third Doctor villains. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a like, subscribe, comment, please share it with your friends. Stay tuned because next time we're going to be taking a look at the Fourth Doctor and K9 set from Logopolis, and then hopefully, hoping and praying, the brand new Character Options Daleks 2-pack from the Jungles of Mechanos set arrives. But thank you all so much for watching, and see you next time.